Hello everyone, this is the Promo Tours channel. Today we're going to break it down. Here is this engine. This is an engine made by the Korean company DOOSAN. This engine was taken from a machine like this. And it has these technical specifications. So this is the second Korean engine. On my channel, the first was the DV15, an analog to the Mandowski engine from DOOSAN. I hadn't worked on one like it before. Well, basically everything is standard. It's a regular diesel engine with a mechanical throttle and a fuel pump. This engine is owned by my subscriber from Tumen. He already disassembled it on site, meaning he removed the cylinder head. Here you can see the first, second and third cylinders. We see there are no fuel lines, some other parts are missing, the coolant jumper is missing, and there's no manifold with the turbocharger, and so on. All of that is already lying over there on my shelf. What happened to this engine? What problems are there? Here we can see the piston from this engine and its condition, and also the cylinder liner from this engine. So the piston got welded to the cylinder liner. The liner is a dry type and the liner broke off. The engine may have overheated, causing the piston to weld to the cylinder liner. There might have been issues with the oil nozzle, with the oil supply. We won't guess now, we'll take it apart and see. My job is to take it apart. And the first thing to do is check the condition of the block. According to the customer, the seat for the sleeve was damaged. So we'll see if it's possible to install a new sleeve there or not, or if we need some kind of repair sleeve. In general, our first and main task is to inspect the block and understand if we can fix it. After that, we check everything as usual. There's the crankshaft bearings, camshaft, new pistons. We'll be installing those. Head revision, fuel system repair, and the turbocharger will be sent for inspection. So everything is standard, just like usual. I'm starting the disassembly here first. As usual, we remove the pipes, manifold hoses, valve covers, cylinder heads, the alternator, and so on. Then we check the marks. We need to understand how the fuel pump is installed. Set the marks and then remove the pump here. We remove everything in the front, the pulley, the compressor, and there's also the starter installed. We remove the clutch, take off the clutch cover, turn the engine over, and then take out the crankshaft and camshaft. There will be several episodes about repairing this engine. This episode is about disassembling and inspecting this engine. Next, we'll have the assembly of this engine in 1 or 2 parts. I might even do a test start right here on the table. It's a must. I'll probably paint it the same red color. There. Well, I don't know if the client sends any footage of installing the engine or starting it in the car. I'll add that to the video as well. I removed the cylinder heads and we can see that the second sleeve is pulled out and we can see that the block is damaged. I don't know, maybe there's even a crack here. Or, well, in general, I don't know, we'll take it apart and see. But it doesn't look like there's anything good here. I think there's a crack starting here and it goes all the way across the block. The customer said there was no antifreeze in the oil pan, so I'm not sure. Even if there is a crack, it doesn't reach the water jacket. Well, in general, nothing good so far. And also you can see on the other liners that there's a crack in this spot as well. There's also a crack here. There's a crack on the third cylinder. So the second cylinder was the one that really got damaged, but all of them suffered. We can see how big the crack is. So this could have happened because of engine overheating. I think there was overheating and it was pretty severe. Alright, I'm taking the engine apart completely. Here I might wash and clean it. Then we'll draw our conclusions. Next, I'll be removing the fuel pump. I see there's a hatch here. There should be a mark on the cover. Here's an arrow. And here we should have some kind of slot or drilling. I'm unscrewing it, aligning the marks, and checking if the pump mark matches. If not, I turn it again and repeat until I see a mark. Then I remove the pump and also take off this coolant cap while I'm at it. Here. I remove the oil filter housing, then I'll turn the engine over and remove the oil pan. E. So I saw a degree scale on the flywheel. E. Right here, I set it to 0 using this notch. One way goes to plus and the other way goes to minus E. But the scale here is really small. 2, 4, 3, and then back the other way. No, the other direction goes up to 20. So I set it to 0. Here is 0T. And we look at the mark on the pump. So we see that when the piston is at top dead center, this is what happens. The marks don't line up. There's about 7 or 8 millimeters. So I turn it until the marks line up and I check how many degrees I have on the flywheel. As you can see, my marks are lined up. We look at the flywheel and we see that we have 12 degrees. That means the injection happens 12 degrees before top dead center. Well, it's about the same on the Maschinenfabrik Augsburg Nuremberg engine. There it's, let's say, 14 degrees. Here we have 12, give or take. So now I'm making a mark that the pump is set at 12 degrees and then we'll remove the pump. Let's remove it. Let's remove it. So I removed the oil pan. We see the oil pan is full of shavings. Here we have pieces of the cylinder liner. I can see piston rings over there. There's the oil scraper ring. The engine kept running with a knock for some time. They didn't shut off right away. So we see the relief valve is on the pump. To get to it, you have to remove the oil pan. And it's built right into the pump housing itself. Well, we'll definitely open it up and take a look. We'll also open up the pump itself and check it out. Well, here we go. I'm turning it and the pump is sticking. So, apparently some shavings got in there. That means the housing is already aluminum, so there are already scratches inside. Most likely, we'll need a new pump. It was difficult to remove. This holds the oil seal, which has two parts and fits tightly onto the shaft. I'm not sure why these oil seals are needed, and I don't like them or understand their purpose. I think that on Mercedes and Machine and Fabric, Augsburg, Nürnberg, they have the most perfect design possible. with a replaceable running ring, no problems at all. You can see how I removed it and the effort involved. Installing these oil seals isn't great either. So regarding the timing marks, crankshaft, there's a mark on the crankshaft. Camshaft, there's one on the camshaft. Here we have 0, here 1, and here it turns out there was a 2. This is for the fuel pump drive. So during assembly you need to install this cover first. The gear should be aligned to match these 2 marks. So first you install this cover, then you install this cover, and then you install the oil pan. Then comes the intermediate gear. There's also a 0 here. This is the crankshaft, 1s are the camshaft, and 2s are the fuel pump. Basically I won't even show the marks, it's clear enough as it is. Now I'm removing the intermediate gear. Then I'm taking off this one. Apparently I need to remove the camshaft gear. Then I'll unscrew a few more bolts here and remove this intermediate plate. And then I take out the camshaft. No, first I probably remove the rear cover. Then I take out the pistons, remove the crankshaft, and then I guess we'll get to the camshaft. Well, here we also have an intermediate gear for the oil pump drive. Here we have the compressor drive, and also the pump drive comes from the compressor. And also I think somewhere around here is the power steering drive. I think I unscrewed it around this spot. So it turns out we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gears. Well, as usual, only 3 of them are set according to the marks. 1, 2, 3. And this intermediate one, all the marks are set according to it. So why does this cover come off so badly? We can see there are these 2 guides here, and they're very long and very thin, so you can't really apply much force here. This guide, it flexes, so it fits very tightly, and you have to gradually work it off bit by bit. Even if I move it with my hand, they start to flex. So this is also the first time I've seen something like this. There we go. I took out the casings, and what do I want to say? So there are cracks on all the casings except, I think, the 6th cylinder. Basically, either the 1st or the 6th, the end cylinder. All the casings have cracks that have clearly been there a long time. Here on this casing, for example, we can see a longitudinal crack, and in this spot, right where the crack is, it's already dry. We can see that there's oil nearby, but where the crack is, it's already dry. Gases from the casing were leaking out here, and the oil was burning off right in this spot. This is happening on all the casings, some more, some less. So the customer complained about the pressure. That is, when you start it, the pressure didn't rise right away, so the warning light would stay on. Well, judging by the bearings, the pressure was actually pretty good overall. Well, there are some scuff marks, but I think that's already from when the engine started knocking. Metal shavings got into the system. Like I showed, the oil pump jams up, there are shavings inside it, and so on. I think this already happened after the cylinder liner broke apart. Judging by these bearings, they're still in working condition. There aren't any scuff marks, and you can't see any signs of oil starvation on the bearings. Go on, go on. About overheating, I thought the engine was overheated, but judging by all the other pistons, there's no sign of overheating. When the engine is overheated, scoring starts to appear. The skirt starts to weld to the cylinder liner, aluminum to cast iron, and you can see it. There should be at least some traces on every piston. It can't be that just one cylinder, let's say, overheated so much that the liner got welded to it, while all the other cylinders are still more or less in working condition. So for now, I don't have any specific ideas about what caused these cracks. Possibility is, I don't know, it's just a feature of this engine, a feature of these liners. Another possibility is simply due to age. While I haven't found the reason yet, I don't have an explanation for now. Assess if rings are worn, especially the oil control ring, causing oil to enter and burn in the cylinder. Cracks appeared due to overheating. Confirm the rings are actually still in working condition. Here, even if you measure it, I think the gap will be about 1 millimeter, which is quite acceptable for a working engine. So for now, I don't have an explanation for why these cracks appeared. In general, I'll need to think about it. Look up information on the internet, maybe in some literature. Next, I'm unscrewing the main caps and taking out the crankshaft. The camshaft has already fallen out. I unscrewed the thrust washer here, and it just fell out on its own. The lifters are pushed out from the inside, just like on a Mercedes or a Machine and Fabric Augsburg Nürnberg. So first you remove the camshaft, then you take out the lifters. Basically, I'm taking out the shafts. Well, that's probably enough for today. Tomorrow I'll wash the engine, and the day after tomorrow it will go to the machinists. We'll see what verdict they give, what the machinists will say. But in my opinion, a repair sleeve is simply necessary here. Actually, we have two options. Either we machine the seat for the sleeve, IMO, and install a sleeve with thicker walls and a larger diameter, IPSTIMU. Or we'll need to replace the block, because I don't know. That's just what I think for now. To take a standard size sleeve, remove the scratches a little, install this sleeve. Well, that's what it would be. It's an experiment, so to speak. How long will it last? In my opinion, this kind of repair won't last long, and soon this sleeve will either crack again or get pulled out. These are just my initial thoughts. I'm saying whatever comes to mind straight to the camera. Later on, there might be some adjustments. So I took apart the engine and let's sum up the results. So the crankshaft and camshaft are in excellent condition. I don't think there will be any questions about them. Yeah, there definitely won't be any questions. It's just in perfect condition, like new. The piston assembly, including pistons, sleeves and rings, needs replacement. I don't know about the bushings yet. It seems like I might even need to replace them. But I'll take it apart later and check. The bearings, obviously all of them, we're taking apart. The cylinder heads for replacement. The condition of the guide bushings and valve seats. We might replace the guide bushings, lap the valves, and replace the valve stem seals. The heads might also go to the surface grinder. So a new oil pump is a must, right? Here, inside the pump itself. I'm not sure if it's a pressure relief valve or just a check valve to prevent the oil from draining back, because there was another valve in the block itself. I unscrewed it. This is definitely a pressure relief valve. 100%. It releases excess pressure. I checked it and basically there are no complaints about it. But later on we'll take it apart and have a look at it too. Regarding the clutch, I would recommend replacing the clutch disc because it's already worn out. If the customer hasn't had clutch issues, we leave the pressure plate and flywheel as is, only replacing the disc and flywheel bearing. The full equipment will be sent for repair. First, it will be checked and possibly repaired. We'll remove the dynamometer for inspection and decide what to do after reviewing the results. Well, I'll take apart the compressor. At the very least, the piston rings will be replaced here and also one set of valve gaskets. Now here's the most important thing about the block. As I mentioned earlier, I explained what our situation is. I cleaned it up a bit and took a look. The cylinder head mating surface is basically about a 4 out of 5. The main problem with this engine is the seating area for the second cylinder, the sleeve of the second cylinder. I don't have a solution yet. There are no options for now. I won't say anything yet. I won't comment. Let's see what decisions will be made. That's it. So I'll finish this video about disassembling this engine here. Thank you all for watching. Good luck to everyone. Goodbye.